High above a scatter of reef and mangrove, a single silhouette puffs itself into bright red against the sky. The color is almost theatrical, a ruby throat ballooning like a small flag, while below the sea breathes in slow blue folds. This is the magnificent Frigatebird, a bird that seems built to take the heavens as its home. In that moment, we see nature's quiet wisdom. Let us rise with it, slowly. The magnificent Frigatebird, Frigata magnificens, lives along tropical and subtropical coasts, from the Caribbean and Gulf coasts to parts of the Pacific Islands. They favor mangrove islets, rocky skerries, and quiet shorelines for nesting. Imagine a quiet cluster of tangled roots and low trees, a place shaped by tides and wind, and there you have the stage for much of a frigatebird's life. A frigate's life often begins in a nest built on a low mangrove branch or a scrubby islet. Pairs may lay a single egg and then invest an astonishing amount of time in it, weeks that stretch into months as parents alternate incubation and provisioning. The chick grows slowly, shaded by the tangled canopy, fed carefully with regurgitated fish and patience. There is a long apprenticeship here. Frigate chicks carry a long childhood into the wind. Young frigates face the long lesson of flight. They must learn to read thermals, to trust a wing on a rising column of warm air. Predators and storms are part of the world, and human disturbances, boats too close to rookeries, plastic in the sea, add new hazards. I will avoid graphic detail. Instead, listen for resilience. Juveniles practice, fall back, then practice again. Each glide a tiny triumph. Week by week, they shape into the airborne specialists we recognize. At adulthood, a magnificent frigatebird becomes a master of the sky. Long forked tails and long, slender wings allow it to ride thermals and sea breezes with minimal flapping. Their anatomy is an economy of lift, bones light, feathers shaped for long, efficient cruises. They may spend days and weeks on the wing, scanning for fish near the surface, nimbly adjusting to currents of air like a sailor sensing wind shifts. Imagine someone who prefers the view from a hilltop and rarely comes down. There's a touch of that in their daily life. Feeding strategies in frigatebirds are fascinating and sometimes misunderstood. They are often described as kleptoparasites, birds that take food from others, but that label misses context. Frigatebirds commonly harass surface-feeding seabirds to drop or jettison prey, yet they also take small fish from the surface and scavenge opportunistically. Here I will explain this calmly. Kleptoparasitism is a flexible ecological strategy, one response to the patchy, changeable bounty of tropical seas. It is not spectacle to imitate. Do not provoke these interactions. Instead, consider them a window into how species share and compete in coastal food webs. Courtship is where spectacle and subtlety meet. Males gather at display sites and inflate their guller sacks. Suddenly, the sky is dotted with flashes of red. They call in a bubbling, rattling voice and strut with wings slightly spread. Females choose, often after careful inspection. A bright guller is an honest signal, but so are the flight skills and the nesting site. These rituals are tender, even theatrical, yet grounded in the practical, finding a mate who can keep pace with a life on the wing. Frigatebirds are woven into coastal ecosystems. Healthy mangroves and protected roosts help sustain their populations, while healthy fisheries and clear oceans support the food webs they depend on. From a human perspective, observe ethically, watch from published vantage points, keep distance from rookeries, and never attempt to land on fragile islets during breeding season. Support the stewards, local conservation groups, and protected area managers who know regional nuance far better than any general list can. If you feel moved to act, small steps matter. Reduce single-use plastics, which can drift into nesting areas in the open sea. Support mangrove protection and restoration. These roots are nursery and refuge. Report disturbances to local authorities rather than confronting them yourself. And consider joining or donating to a vetted SIBO monitoring group. Always check local guidance before visiting coastal sites.
Regional managers can recommend safe viewing distances and timing so birds are not stressed.
So we leave the Frigatebird where we found it, aloft, patient, and proud. Its life stitches together sky and sea, courtship and endurance, risk and remarkable adaptation. There is a lesson here about attention. These birds ask for quiet observation and careful thinking rather than spectacle. If this story gave you a moment of ease or a new way to look up, I invite you to keep these stories with you. Subscribe to Avian Tranquility to meet more single bird lives, and check the episode notes for safe viewing tips and links to local conservation partners. Thank you for rising with me today. Until next time, may the small wing beats of the world bring you a steady calm.